welcome back. Today we take a look at the minor key 1-4-5 progression in triad arpeggios, using the familiar major and minor triad arpeggios in a new sequence. But I'll take advantage of the opportunity to look at an example in a new key, and thereby we'll learn a couple more open position arpeggio fingerings. So far in the major keys we've had examples in C major. For C major the relative minor is A minor, and the 1-4-5 progression would be A minor, D minor and E. Notice I'm continuing to follow the convention of substituting a major for the minor 5 chord. We then took a look at the 2-5-1 progression in G major. The relative minor of G major is E minor. The 1-4-5 progression would be E minor, A minor and B. And we've already met the E minor open position arpeggios when it was the 2 chord of the key of D major. For D major the relative minor key is B minor, and of course we met the open position arpeggios for B minor as the arpeggios for the 6 chord in D major. In B minor the 1-4-5 progression would be B minor, E minor and F sharp. But for today's example we're going to go one more step round the cycle of fifths to the key of F sharp minor. This is the relative minor key of A major. The chords of the 1-4-5 progression in F sharp minor are F sharp minor, of course, B minor and C sharp. So let's find the open position arpeggios for these chords. Beginning with the F sharp minor, we start with the F sharp on string 6, fret 2 with finger 2. Then our minor third is an A, which we find on the open string 5. The fifth, C sharp, we play with finger 4, fret 4, string 5, and the octave F sharp, fret 4, finger 4, string 4. In the upper octave we begin fret 4, string 4, where we finish the lower octave, and then the minor third, fifth and octave all fall under the same finger on fret 2, strings 3, 2 and 1. That's A, C sharp, F sharp. The B minor and C sharp arpeggios we can only play over a single octave in the open position, and the B minor follows exactly the same fingering as the lower octave of the F sharp minor, just moved up one string. So we begin finger 2, fret 2, string 5, D on the open string 4, F sharp, the fifth, at fret 4, string 4, and the octave B, fret 4, string 3. As always with these fingerings, if you find it easier, you can bring in finger 3 to play the fifth of the F sharp minor and B minor arpeggios. The C sharp arpeggio starts on string 5 at fret 4 with finger 4, and then because this is a major arpeggio we want a major third which falls under finger 3, fret 3, string 4, playing an E sharp. Notice this is the same note as F natural, but because we're playing in a key of F sharp minor, we already have an F sharp, can't have two Fs in the same key, so we call this note E sharp. The fifth of the chord is then G sharp, which falls under finger 1, fret 1, string 3, and finally the octave C sharp, finger 2, fret 2, string 2. If you wanted to use a minor 5 chord in this context, then you'd simply change the major triad arpeggio for a minor arpeggio by replacing the major third finger 3 with a minor third using finger 2. But we'll stick with the major. We can now play the arpeggios in sequence, so let's see what sort of complications this throws up in terms of fingering. Here's the first one. We finish the B minor arpeggio with finger 4 playing the octave B, and we want to start the C major arpeggio down on the 5th string at the same fret with the same finger. A little awkward. We can avoid this by using finger 3 to play the C sharp and finger 2 to play the E sharp, and then the normal 2 fingers to play the 5th and octave. But when we get to this point, we find if we want to return to F to repeat the cycle, we need to bring finger 2 all the way down from string 2 to string 6. Here there are a couple of alternative fingerings. We can finish the C sharp arpeggio with a C sharp on the 3rd finger, allowing the 2nd finger to come down to return to the F sharp minor, or we can play the C sharp arpeggio ending as normal on finger 2 and then use finger 1 to play the root of the F sharp arpeggio. So we can play round the sequence. Or perhaps playing the patterns descending. And here again we have a big jump with the 2nd finger. Now I've played that simply by flattening my 2nd finger out to get that top note. But you could once again eliminate that problem by using the 3rd finger to play the top C sharp. Playing the arpeggios in the back and forth pattern. There are no particular problems introduced with the fingering. Now taking the F sharp minor arpeggio into the upper octave, as I've said before, there's no real simple alternative in this pattern to using a single finger to play the 3 consecutive notes at the same fret here. However, we do then have the problem of getting down to fret 2 for the B, and once again the solution is to use the 1st finger to play the B. With the arpeggios in the descending form, well, we just have this issue of movement of the 4th finger from the F sharp to the B here, and again this can be got round by playing the F sharp with the 3rd finger. And back and forth. Now let's take a quick look at this arpeggio sequence in the transposable fingerings. As I said before, this is all patterns we've already studied. So beginning with the 1st finger on string 6, we can play 1 minor, up 1 string, same fret space to the 4 minor, up 2 fret spaces to the 5 major, and back to the 1. Beginning on finger 2. Beginning on finger 4, just over 1 octave. And back. We can invert the movement of the chord roots, so if we start with our tonic chord arpeggio on string 5 or 4, we can go down 1 string and 2 frets for the 4 chord arpeggio, then once again up 2 frets for the 5 chord arpeggio, and finally up 1 string, the same fret, to return to the 1. And as always, you should mix and match the fingering patterns to find a combination that works best for you for each key in each register, that's to say each area of the fretboard, and all of these arpeggios should be practiced in the ascending, descending and back and forth forms. So that's all for this session. In the next video we're going to introduce the final triad arpeggio form, that's the minor flat 5 triad, and use this in the context of the 2-5-1 and 6-2-5-1 minor key chord progressions, which will complete our whole set of chord progressions in triad arpeggios. So goodbye until next time.